Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to this really fast update and something we've been really exploring for a while and seen coming, but it's Google Plus Local that is now taking the place of Google Places, and we're so excited this is happening, and Maps Marketing Blueprint really being the center of really understanding how Maps Marketing works. And so I've got Mercedes Sparks on the line here. Hey Mercedes.
Hey.
And yeah, thanks for joining me, and because of the last really 48 hours here, we've been watching this like a hawk, and we've had lots of people inquire to support, hey, what's going on? Is this, is Google Places going away? How is this affecting Maps Marketing Blueprint? And so what we've done is we've compiled literally the best data for you and for our customers, because that's what we do. We do this full-time for a living, and you're going to have the best resources available. So one thing I just want to make everybody know up front is there's a lot of hype going on. You'll get hit with a bunch of WSOs and how Google Places has gone, and really try to almost repackage things and try to resell that to you. Mercedes, how much hype have you seen the last couple days?
Oh my gosh, I've seen so many headlines out there. You'd think it was part of like the Mayan 2012 doomsday prophecy.
It is, but it's the actual opposite. It's an amazing update that's happening, and we're so excited to be bringing you this. And just as a reference point, because there's a lot of programs out there that you've either bought or maybe could have bought, but that's all about Google Places or Places marketing, or all these there's Google Plus marketing. The reason I named it Maps Marketing Blueprint is I was not tied to any, whether it was Google Maps, whether it's Google Places, it's Google Plus. It's all about marketing locally on what's on the map. And so no matter what it is, Google Plus, Google Places, anything that's on the map, which Google Plus is what what Maps Marketing Blueprint is really all about. So don't worry about if Google changes the name or changes the interface or changes anything. Maps Marketing Blueprint will always have the latest data to be able to dominate your market online. And so one thing's for sure, Maps Marketing is not going away. Google has gone local along with so many other search engines. Yelp being a $100 million company this year alone. It's all about local. So we're glad you're here, and thank you so much, Mercedes, for joining. What I want to do is quickly just go over some real principles to kind of lay things out. As you know, going through the blueprint, I like segregating so the mind is really clear on what we're talking about. And there's really three areas that we always look at when it comes to Google Places. First is the dashboard. This is where you input all your info. And second is the interface, which is the customer or user experience. And third is the rankings. And so we want to talk about, and what we've developed is a guide for you so that you don't get lost in the shuffle. We could easily put this out as a WSO or even really another product for everybody else that's doing it, but it's yours free because we just want to always bless you and support you and make sure you got the best data possible. So let's talk about the dashboard for a second. And just a quick overview before we really get into the details here. What's changed on the dashboard, Mercedes, since the sky's been falling the last since the update's been done?
Dashboard has remained the same. So the same way you input information for Google Places, you're going to do the same exact thing for Google Plus Local. So that is exactly the same. You're still going to edit your photos, your videos, your address, your phone number, additional details, all that. That still goes into the dashboard.
Which is important, but not as important as the other part, which is the rankings. What have we seen with rankings so far since this change?
Yeah, everything's the same. In fact, some things are a little better, or just in terms of the interface, but everything's the same. So ranking's the same. I go to Google and look up, Dr. Bill. He's in the same spot, in the A spot. I go over to, I go over into Google Plus, ranking just fine. So.
And across the board, we've done literally, because we have analyzers, we've got algorithms, we've got scrapers. We're always analyzing this data and then comparing it with some of the best minds around the planet, because we have over 2,000 customers, so we get great feedback from them as well, and nothing is really changed at all. So what has changed that you've seen and that I've seen is really the interface. It's just the way that that Google is actually interacting with the customer, and thank goodness, because I swear to you, probably the best programmers in the world are hired at Google, but the best designers are somewhere else, because the Google Places page that has been there for 2 or 3 years now is the ugliest interface on the planet. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old that could do that interface so much better. I mean, just the layout is ugly. It's just really disgusting. It's hard to know where the information is. It's just not easy on the eyes whatsoever. So thank goodness they actually updated that, and that's what the big update's all about. So no sky's falling here. It's just a fantastic interface, and Google's connecting more with social with Google Plus. And what we've seen is that I've actually heard tumbleweeds when I'm inside Google Plus. You register for it, you connect with people, and you're like, all right, what do I do next? It's really trying to compete with Facebook. And Mercedes, what's your experience with Google Plus, thus far since it's been launched?
Yeah, well, with Google Plus, yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a big hype. Everybody went in. It was invitation only at first. You finally get an account, and nobody's even over there. So I mean, I have an account, but I hardly ever use it.
And I also, we're still, Facebook is still the dominant, but this is the brilliant move with Google. It's saying, look, Places is incredibly successful for business. Our Google Plus isn't. So they're literally just combining the two and forcing everybody to go in this direction, taking something that's very successful and really propelling their Google Plus, which we think is a brilliant strategy on there. And it's something we would do if we were, had that type of asset to be able to work with. And we think it's going to be a real hit because obviously they're going to start now connecting with social signals and a lot of other things, really diving into the social aspect of search engine, which we've been predicting for a while that social integration and reputation management is going to be the #1 thing that we see over the next 18 months that is going to be night and day difference of whether you're ranking or not. And more importantly, when you're ranking, are people actually going to pick up the phone and call you? And so this is their way of actually integrating it. We know that they bought Zagat mid-last year, a little towards the end of mid-last year, and we were waiting for them to integrate it with Google Places, and now they have. So we'll take a look at that. Anything else you want to say just as an overview real quick of these three areas?
Yeah, no, I mean, just to add to what you're saying in terms of it's just an incredibly strategic move on their part. I mean, 80 million business pages converted yesterday in 24 hours. So everybody's got a Google Plus page now. And then to add a review, you have to have a Google Plus account. So in the days of just creating those Gmail accounts, you now have to have an actual Google Plus account. So very quickly, I think everybody's going to end up in Google Plus, just like Facebook.
And they're just going to kick it, kicking and screaming. They're going to drag us right in there. So, and it's just a great business model for them. So what we've done is we've developed the Maps Marketing Blueprint Google Plus Local strategic guide for you. And we're going to just quickly go over this and help you through the process. And we've got a nice little kind of opener for you here. So just as a opener, we're excited to finally did away with Google Places and replaced it with the sexy Google Plus local page. Over 80 million businesses worldwide. We're just thrown into the Google social revolution. So we want to welcome them all with open arms, because the great thing about all these businesses now is they have no idea what to do, and there's no guide for this. They need an expert, and they need to pay you to do it. So they're going to be literally just throwing money in your bank account because you are going to understand this better than anyone else. I mean, you already have Google Mass Marketing Blueprint. You have the analyzers, which we're updating as well. For the new reputation, because there's no more 5 stars. There's only actually a rating of 0, 1, 2, and 3, so there's only 4 ratings now, and we'll get into that for a second. So just look at this as being exciting news, and now you want to pay attention more than ever. So let's jump in here, and Mercedes, you want to just kind of quickly go over, and I know we went over this, but kind of, what is Google Plus local page? What is that?
Yeah, Google Plus page is going to be the, a Google Plus page is basically, I mean, essentially a Facebook page. They've got, all sorts of, you can upload photos, everything you can pretty much do on Facebook. But now what they've done is they've taken that one step further and they said, well, let's give those same social tools to local business owners. So that's basically what the Google Plus Local is. So it's all the same stuff that was on your Google Places page, all the same basic business information, but now you're actually able to integrate social a little bit more. Again, kind of similar to Facebook, but with Google offers and just the idea of ranking in Google, I think that these are probably going to catch on a lot better than the Facebook business pages.
Well, what I'm going to do here is just kind of give everybody an example, and believe it or not, Google's made it very difficult for me to find a page here, but we'll jump into that in just a second. So what's really changed? So let's go through this real quick. And Mercedes, you want to just get some highlights here?
Yeah, just a brief overview of what's changed. We got a couple bullet points here. The inclusion of the local tab in Google+. So if you already had a Google+ account, well, maybe the last time you were in there was like 6 months ago, but if you were in there, there is a local section on there now where you can click and you can actually search for businesses. So just like you would search in Maps, or you could search on your mobile phone, or in the search engine itself, now we've got another area where we can search for local businesses. Other things would be Local Plus. Oh, you lost my screen there.
Well, you can see here, I've actually got up here the interface. So you can see here you've got this fantastic picture. And if you don't have the background picture, it's naturally going to default. So this is the Google Plus page. This is the Google Places page. So you can see here just aesthetically how aesthetically pleasing this is. But it's got the same exact data. It's got the location. It's got the description. It's got an overall rating, which is different now. So instead of 5 stars, they actually give you the ability to go from 0 to 3. And if you right-click on the scoring guide, click on the scoring guide, you can see here how they actually rate everything. So you've got 0 to 10, and what they're doing is they're simply dividing the 1 through 3 divided by how many scores you have. And you can see Dr. Bill here has, out of 30, he's got 29. So he is extraordinary to perfection. And then you've got a, you can see the reviews down here are almost like it's almost like a Facebook post that's going on. And so, again, you're not seeing these stars, you're just seeing these ratings. You've got on the right-hand side here the offers, which I think are really, really cool because there's an icon that shows up next to each offer, which, as you can see here, the typical pictures aren't as cool as actually having like a picture of a coupon. So you've got some amazing opportunity to really detail this when all this actually moves over. Mercedes, anything you want to add to that?
No, just that I was thinking, in terms of the Zagat reviews, that 30-point scale is really going to prevent everybody from ending up at that 3.5 stars. Because after a while, going back and forth, everybody was kind of clustering at 3.5. And so that's what they were trying to do there with those Zagat 30-point scale. So I think that's a great addition. And
what stayed the same? We got a few bullet points here for everybody to take some notes with.
Yeah, the algorithm is the same. So when we were just talking about ranking and searching for businesses, nothing has changed there. So Google hasn't tweaked anything, even though it's a big aesthetic update. The algorithm itself is still exactly the same. And we also talked about the interface. The interface is the same. So anytime you want to update your Google Plus local page, you can go to your dashboard and do that. So just like you would have with your Google Places. So again, that all the big stuff is all the same, and of course rankings. So there's really no big, huge updates other than the addition of Zagat, the exciting feature of social. That's about it, and the aesthetics.
And you can see here we've got, and we took some screenshots back and forth for you guys, so you could see, on the left-hand side is Dennis, New York, in Google Maps there, and then you can see if you actually log in. So if you look at it right now, there's really three things going on. There's Maps, there's Places that's being phased out, and now there's Google Plus Local. And so, but you can see here that the algorithm is the same. Look at, you can see just across the board, that's one example. There's Plumber, Atlanta, the exact same thing. So we do a tremendous amount of research here at Real Strategic. And so, you're always, again, going to have the best data being a part and customer of Maps Marketing Blueprint. So nothing's changed there. So why is this a great thing? So let's go a little bit of detail about that, Mercedes.
Yeah, I mean, just one of the big things that stands out to everybody is this new layout that we have. It's much more like almost like a magazine layout where the photos are really heavily emphasized. So that's the number one thing is the enhanced layout. And really one of the main things businesses should be looking at right now. I know a lot of times businesses don't pay attention to their photos, but they are prominent right now. So if you haven't updated it in a while, you want to go take a look at it. Make sure you have some really nice pictures in there that tell a nice story about your business and what it is that you do.
Which is another fantastic way to make great money, because not only for reputation management are videos important for video testimonials, which you'll see in the course Reputation Marketing Blueprint, but now photos, to be able to have a nice camera, to be able to go into the office and be able to take some nice aesthetically pleasing pictures of the staff. You can charge big time money for that, because I mean we work with photographers that charge $2,000 just to show up, and then they charge per picture. I mean, and you can get beautiful photos with a nice $300 or $400 camera, And so, I mean, just all the amazing things you can do that are very simple. If you're doing it local, now obviously you can market with Google Places. With Google Plus now anywhere in the world. But the point of it is that now you've got a real way that you can really entice people because of the aesthetics, like Mercedes said. Not to mention, you can use these pictures as testimonials. You can use coupons in these pictures. So because these pictures are really a major part of the marketing and the aesthetics, I mean, the sky's the limit to be able to market as well. So what else you want to mention about that, Mercedes, that we've seen?
Yeah, just, I mean, a couple of these things we've already talked about. In terms of control, especially moving forward as Google begins to really phase out those Google Places pages and incorporate the social aspects, you'll have more control about how you engage with your audience. In terms of the reviewers, it does look more like a Facebook chat transcript almost, going back and forth. So you have the ability to upload additional photos into your album. So that shift to social is also going to give you a lot more control. Again, we talked a little bit about the reviews, the Zagat score of the 30-point system. Mm-hmm. That's also a huge enhancement to the 5 stars. It doesn't really tell a very good story, 5 stars. A lot of times, right, when you go to a restaurant, maybe you love the food, but you hated the service. And so Zagat lets you, especially for restaurants and things where there's a real experience, you can they have different criteria. So you'd be able to rate the food or the service or the atmosphere differently instead of having to just kind of take all of that whole experience and sum it up into just 1 star rating. So I think that's a great. You're showing the rating system right there.
Yep, and this is a 1 through 30 there. So now also the SEO factor. Now we're not going to really touch on this. This will be more in the training as we move on because remember the algorithm hasn't changed much, but we expect it to change probably over the next month or two a little bit because of this factor. See, Google Places were blocked from showing up in search results mainly because Google considered Google Places the same thing with the result, but Google Plus local pages will now be indexed with inbound links. So SEO is going to play a more of a factor moving forward. How that rolls out, we'll certainly let you know. Obviously, if you're using a software like Magic Submitter and part of that, you're going to have a huge advantage of all the competition that's going on. So, which really leads in what we can expect for the future here. And so, obviously, the algorithm being updated for the social ranking factors are going to be really, really big. We expect that the plus ones, the Google shares, the number of comments, the number of posts, and we're also expecting that they're going to be able to integrate with, if you update your website, that you'll be able to update your Google Places page. Google's told us that that everything that you can do on Google Plus is going to be integrated into Google Plus Local, which is the business page. And so you're not going to see this right away. So again, the brilliant thing about this is it's just like, you know, I think it's interesting that really 3 to 1, and again, there's no scientific study that we're doing here. This is just our research that we've done in our experience the last 3 years of working with Google and all the local map marketing stuff, is that there's probably a 3 to 1 where companies will run out and open up a Facebook page, right? It does nothing for them. They'll put the graphics together, they'll try to make posts, they'll hire someone, but it doesn't get them any type of business whatsoever. Obviously, statistically, everybody knows that, you know, over 90% of companies found no direct relationship at all with social media. Now that's changing because Google Plus is social. And so when we integrate these social factors, again, companies aren't going to be able to do it. They're going to need you to do it. These are services you can charge more for. So incredibly exciting moving forward. Anything else you want to mention on that?
Yeah, I mean, just basic stuff you would kind of assume is going to happen. So just like everything else has gotten a facelift lately, the infrastructure probably will as well. So I kind of expect to see the dashboard to maybe change a little bit. I think all the same information is going to be there, but I just don't want people to run out and get all worried when they see that update happen. So.
No, yeah, not at all. This is all positive stuff. Just, you know, if you're hearing the sky is falling, all this crazy stuff, it's just a bunch of malarkey. We love it when Google makes a change because not only do we know about it, but we don't bring anything to you that's not legitimate. Remember, everything we do is duplicatable and scalable. And so if you're listening to your commentators out there, they don't have 2,000 customers that getting feedback from. They don't have dozens and dozens of customers that they're actually working with every single day and tracking those rankings. At least most of them, you know, they're connecting with Google. They're going to all these big shows. So, you know, they got some great data, some amazing data. But we're not interested in commentating. We're interested in giving you information that works and that you can make money off of and make a difference in your client's business. So there's no reason to go out and do something. People spend money on it and then it not work, and especially your client run out and do it and it not work. So we just want to bring really effective information to you. So just in the future, as this stuff updates, don't worry about putting a support ticket in. You don't need to. When the timing is right and there's good data available, we'll be pushing it to you like we're doing right now, and especially creating some fantastic insights and some step-by-step. So you didn't have to take notes right now. We've done all the notes for you. So so what should they get started on right away in getting a good game plan together to really prepare for using Google Plus and the social aspect of it?
Yeah, well, I listed a couple things out here. Like we talked about before, this new layout is much more visually appealing. So if you haven't looked at your listing yet in Google Plus Local, please make sure you do that. Go over there, see what the photos are, update the listing if you need to. Maybe add some photos of the staff in there. Just make it more personal. Remember, the idea is we're going more social. So we're doing away with the static, dry Google Places page, and we're just becoming much more relational. So that's kind of what you want to start doing with your Google Plus Local page. The other thing would be make sure you start.
Oh, look at this! I don't know if you see on the screen. This didn't happen earlier today. They're slowly integrating this. You can type in Dentist Atlanta and click on the reviews here, and it goes to the Plus page now.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. We always test with Atlanta. So this was going to the Google Places page.
Yeah, but look at the photo.
Yep.
What the heck is that photo there?
Exactly. It's uncomfortable to even look at. It just looks like nobody's even touched that. So again, you got the write a review right here that you can see that's shown up. So how did they actually find their page? So let's say they are going there. And, I mean, they do go to their site and they can only get to Google Places. How do they actually get to their Google Plus page?
Yeah, well, again, as you said, it's a slow integration, so you may click on it one time and get to your Places page, another time you may click on it, you get to your Plus page. The easiest way to get to the Plus page at this point is let's just go to Google Plus, where you're at right now. So you go to Google Plus, on the left-hand column there's that Local tab, right where David's at, on the bottom left-hand corner it says Local, and then you're just going to search for your business. That's probably the most straightforward way right now. You can always try to search in Maps, you can always try to search it just in the search results, and like David clicked on the reviews and see if you get there. But this is probably the most straightforward way for the time being.
So what you want to do is log into your Google Plus account. So that's what we are. We're in Dr. Bill's account right now. So you'll log in, and if you've got a Google Plus page, if you don't have a Google Plus page, then create one. And then you'll log in, click on Local, and then search for your company name in the search box here, and that will come up. So that's exactly how you would actually find it if it's not taking it to you right away. So if I wanted to actually, let's see here, normal. So let me go in here. And so I'm in Dr. Bill, so I'm going to put in like Dr. Bill Dentistry and search Google Plus, and there the Google Places page actually comes up. Right here, and then I can click on it, and it will, I say Google Places, I'm just so used to it, Google Plus Local page. Could they make it something? Couldn't make it like Lugal, like local Google, Lugal, or something like that? So, but
well, it's Google Plus and Local got together and they had a baby, so now it's Google Plus Local.
Google Plus Local. There you go. So anyway, so there you go. That's how you would find it, and then you can go in and edit it. And again, remember the way you edit it is the same place you would go into Google, then / and you can still go into Places / Places. And then go into your back office. So again, all these changes that you make here are still done at the same dashboard area that you were doing your Google Places with.
Yeah, even if you go down to claim it, like if you go to an actual Plus page and it says Manage this page on the right-hand column, and you click on that button, it's going to take you to all the same interfaces we had before to claim or edit or delete, or it'll take you right into your dashboard if you already own the listing.
Perfect. Anything else they should be going regarding a game plan to kind of engage?
Yeah, no, just again, like start messing around with the social and the Google Plus. So, if you've got clients or your customer has clients with a @gmail.com email address, message them. Say, hey, why don't you follow me on my new Google Plus page? I just got it. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Leave me a review. That's a great idea. Is just start getting those +1s and just people interested and aware.
And what you should not do is go out and buy any WSOs with Google Plus and Local. If it sounds too good to be true, 3 ways to make one with Google while you sleep for only $7, then it probably is not true. So again, a lot of people are just going to make money off of hype. That's why they're saying all this stuff. No need to do that when you have Maps Marketing Blueprint. Strategy still works. Everything still works. And again, we're going to be updating things as needed and letting you know. The next training we're going to be having here is Inside Your Back Office. It's going to be in about a week. So, and there'll be more data that we'll have in the next week. So make sure that you log in to Maps Marketing Blueprint, click on the next training, and register now. And also in the email, you'll probably have that information here. Also, do not believe every article that enters the blogosphere. If you're going to devote extraordinary amounts of time to Google Plus, then I suggest you really only check out reputable bloggers. And we've given you some great resources in this plan too. Our plan for you is that we want to bring you the best information, both local and social and mobile in the world. And when it comes to Maps marketing, this is a not one-stop shop for everything. So it's pretty much everything you need. Just not only for, we've got Local Marketing Genius, we've got Local Ranking Report, we've got Mass Marketing Analyzer. We have all these great resources and tools for you so that you don't have to worry about, two different, we've got Magic Submitter training. So we've got all kind of a one-stop, and this is all we use. So the goal is that we lay out a game plan. We can experience all the hardships and bugs and issues and problems, let you know to make sure you don't step on this landmine because we already stepped on it, so you can go farther, more successful than we ever thought possible. So that's our vision for you. So when it comes to Mass Marketing Analyzer, Local Ranking Report, Reputation Kuna, we are actually updating those as we speak. We already know what the updates are going to be. And so as soon as Google makes the flip and the switch, we'll be sending you the updates for those via email, and then you can update the analyzer. Example, right now we're in the middle of changing the ratings to quality score, and it's going to grab the quality score. But we can't we can't do other things because the layout hasn't changed on a lot of these. You can see it's kind of a 50-50 right now, and it probably will be over the next week or two. Will not be updating Mass Marketing Blueprint because after reading the whole guide, it should be clear that the Mass Marketing Blueprint is vital to ranking. And so, just add some +1 stuff, add some social stuff, and you should be good to go. Now, you're going to hear the word Google Places, obviously, in Mass Marketing Blueprint. Slowly, we'll phase that out as need necessary. But we all know right now that Google Plus, there's no more Google Places per se. But again, the algorithm, the rankings, the interface, the dashboard, all the same. It's just the layout that's really changed, and we expect more changes coming up. So stay tuned. Very excited about what's happening. And Mercedes, I believe in here you're going to put some resources. Is that correct?
Yeah, I thought they were in there, but yes, I will drop them in there.
Because what we want to do is give you some good references and some great people to follow. Also, what we want to do, we're going to give you a link to the Maps Marketing Blueprint Scoop It. And what that is that's an aggregate of all the great articles we find. So if we think it's good, we're going to put it in there so you don't have to go searching for anything. You'll get an update. You just want to make sure that you follow the Scoop It, and then every time there's a good piece of data, we'll fill that in. So again, we're just pushing great information to you. You never have to worry about a thing. We just want to make you informed and up to date as possible, but more importantly, with the information that's important, not all the fluff that's out there that's just going to get everybody confused and more importantly, not keep everybody focused on the main thing, which is having a great business that makes you money. Mercedes, any closing thoughts on this?
No, I mean, I think you really summed it up really well. Just that, yeah, I'm going to drop in some really great resources. That Google's added some help articles. They have a whole support thread for this in the Google Plus Your Business. So I think this is going to be a great resource. If people still have questions, I think that these will really help answer their questions.
And let's do one more thing too, because there's a lot of people don't understand how Google works sometimes. And we get in live trainings, we answer these questions. But there's really there's something called Google updates everything. The way it got all this data for Google Plus isn't from Google Places. Mercedes, you want to explain that to everyone?
Yeah. Google almost has its own data aggregator. It's just kind of like its backup for Google Places. And so when they went and they created these 80 million business pages yesterday, they actually pulled it from Google Mapmaker. So Google Mapmaker is just your basic information. This is where you would go, you know, you ever have that situation where you have like 7 categories or 8 categories and you're like, where are these categories coming from? You would go to the Mapmaker, which they've shown right here, google.com/mapmaker, and you can actually edit your listing here. So if you have any issues, I would recommend if you do have issues with your Places page to stick with what Google is saying and update your dashboard. And I think it's going to reflect all the way through here. I think it'll update the dashboard, the Mapmaker, and then it's going to get to your Plus page until they actually merge the two. But Mapmaker is a great resource. It's just kind of like the foundation that both of these tools were built on, that Google Places and also now Google Plus is built on.
So what we're saying is always update your dashboard first. But if you're not seeing for some reason that your Google Plus account local isn't getting the data, then what you want to do is go to google.com/mapmaker, and you can go in here and actually click edit. And you can, now you got to have a really good reason. You have to be authenticated. You have to log in, and they will actually allow it to be updated. So this is just a secondary resource just in case you're like, man, I changed my phone number, I put my description in and the dashboard, and it's still not updating. See if it's updated in the Mapmaker, because this is the data that actually created those 80 million, not actual maps itself. And so we'll give you some great articles on this so you can read for yourself. But my encouragement is spend less time reading about the blogosphere, what's going on, more time going out and connecting with customers and getting them to say, look, Google Local's going social now. And you're not at the top. We can get you to the top. It's going to cost you $15 to set up, $3,000 a month, and grab those clients in, because if you're not doing it, others will. So, and now you've got a great resource and tool like Mass Marketing Blueprint and the team here at Real Strategic to help you every step of the way, making sure that you're getting what you need. So, we're excited to have you guys as our customers. We're excited that if you want more information like this, just so you know, I would strongly recommend that you are a Local Marketing Genius member. It's $37 a month, because we do live trainings more about marketing and how we can use and leverage this. So Maps Marketing Blueprint is a one-time course, and but we still update it because we want to support you the best we can. And this is part of the support that we're giving absolutely for free. But Local Marketing Genius is what you really need to stay ahead of the game when it comes to marketing and going out and finding more clients, closing those deals, and putting lots of cash in your bank account and growing a great business online. So, Mercedes, any other closing thoughts there?
No, that's it. I'm good.
All right, great. Well,
Excited.
Yeah, so am I. So you guys just stay tuned. We'll have more for you guys next week, and just make sure you show up for the live trainings, especially over the next 60 to 90 days here, as we bring more data to you and show you how to dominate your marketplace online. Take care, and thanks, Mercedes.